two issues, attraction and then development and retention. I believe as an industry we've got to start focusing more on how we attract really good quality talent and promote ourselves as an industry a lot better than what we're doing to get that talent coming through, which we can then develop and focus on retaining within our industry. There are other industries that are far sexier than food and grocery. If you look at telcos, the marketing advertising agencies, and we're not doing a good job as an industry of promoting ourselves out there, both to school leavers but also to people already in tertiary education. Once they are in our businesses, we're not investing in developing them. So we've got too much focus on the output and what we're getting from the talent we've got within our business rather than actually what we're giving back to them to enable them to get to that next role. It's a big challenge, and with the lack of investment, what's happening is we're just getting poaching between the companies throughout the industry. So it's become quite incestuous, where people are just moving between companies instead of actually focusing on building a career and what are the true best options for them developmentally. Once we've gone out and promoted it a little bit, we would look for students to actually look to come and do placements and get some experience, even while they're at school or at university, to see what areas of the industry they might be attracted or interested in, and actually to start building up a bit of a network where they can say, well, this is my interest because, instead of some of the student mentality that we have where they have an expectation that they'll just get on a graduate program. Some of them don't even know much about the industry when they're turning up for applications in those graduate programs, and I personally, if I'm recruiting for a graduate, would like to see somebody who's gone out there and really done a little bit of work experience to find out what had really attracted them to the industry and then sells that proposition back to me. There's one thing that makes our industry very different to telcos, finance companies, banks and law firms is the breadth. The breadth of career options in food and grocery is the broadest of any, I believe, industry operating in New Zealand. Right from, even if you go in as an accountant or a finance, you can end up in sales, marketing, supply chain, finance, you could go into operations. The skill set that you build from going into those multi-functions makes you stronger, I believe, as a candidate, not only for progression within our industry, but also for going on to bigger and better things on the international scale. And potentially bringing some of that international learning back into New Zealand, which would be really exciting. I think a bit of experience on both retail and supply side is invaluable for whichever side you end up in, because you have that perspective where you understand the other side of the fence. So I would also encourage, part-time, go and work in the New World, your local New World in the deli or packing groceries, because that gives you that customer and consumer experience that you're not going to get when you're sitting in an office. So I think that's the key, building your career up, but being prepared to actually put in a bit of hard yards and have passion for what you're doing.